Before we get into today's roasting, I would like to thank our sponsor, Dossier Perfumes. They are an online perfume company that brings designer scents without the designer price tag. They have a vast catalog, so find what best suits you. The perfumes I will be sampling are these. So this one is the Fougere Bergamont. It is a very good, strong, masculine scent. Nice, musky. And the second fragrance I will be reviewing is Woody Basil. This one is very overpowering. It's very sweet. Think of your favorite Victoria's Secret perfume, but more elevated. It is a very overpowering scent, so use it sparingly. Dossier Perfumes, proud sponsor of Miranda Roasts. Should I do the same intro thing as we did last video?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright. Hello, I'm Miranda Priestley. I'm the editor-in-chief of Runway magazine, and today I will be reviewing and critiquing the wardrobe choices of the animated feature film.
It's actually an anime, but it also has a feature film.
The anime Demon Slayer.
There you go, Miranda.
So the first one we have here is inappropriate.
What do you mean? Oh, the bamboo stick?
There's another word for it, but we'll keep it G if you want to call it a bamboo stick. What kind of show is this? Is this an adult show?
I mean, people get killed, I guess.
I mean in a different way, dear.
I mean, if you want some action scenes, I suggest you watch it.
Do people get naked?
I really don't know.
Well, I will try to judge this one as nondescript as possible. Firstly, I don't know why they're animating her hair like that, but it looks terrible. Perhaps it's been fried one too many times with the hairdressers. I wish they would commit to some sort of actual accessory instead of what looks like a piece of torn cloth. The pattern of the kimono seems to be plausible enough, but I do not quite like the pattern, nor does it seem very historically accurate, but I could be wrong. The obi part looks terrible. I do hate the checkering. The cord is also not great. I don't know why you would match it to the highlights on the bottom parts of her hair. That's also a very bad.
New York agrees with you, by the way.
New York agrees with me. You hear that? I don't like the way the kimono is tied at the bottom. It's very frumpy. Speaking of frumpy, what is on her legs? I thought they were boots, but a closer look will show you that she's wearing sandals with socks. I am guessing that this takes place in some sort of time period that mimics the feudal Japan era.
You're correct,
I
yes.
promise you, they did not dress this horrendously, and I find it quite insulting. This one's pretty alright. I don't like the patterns. They look like grandmother's drapery. And by that, I'm like, my grandmother has phenomenal taste. You should see the drapery that she has. Her taste in florals is divine. And really, this woman should contact her because this floral pattern is quite ugly. Otherwise, this is nice, it's clean, it's simple, it's elegant. I like the way her hair is styled. And I feel like the cord could be a different color as well if we're looking for something more interesting and eye-catching. But otherwise, just an ugly pattern, but not the most offensive thing.
The next one we have, from your expression, you either really despise it or you actually kind of genuinely like it.
You've been working here for almost a year now, and you think that's the expression I make when I like something? This is an abomination. This is a middle schooler who has discovered what boobs are. Where to unpack here? Firstly, the transition from lime green to pink indicates the usage of psychedelic drugs. Not to mention, she's decided to match this with thigh-high lime green socks with teal tops. That alone has its own TED Talk. Before I mentioned with the bamboo stick girl, she had this, you know, if this is existing in the same time period as this, fictional or otherwise, this should not exist. Neither should this. Yeah, this is pretty atrocious. There are no redeeming qualities with this one.
It kind of reminds me of like a Jesus figure, but like in nighttime. Just with the picture of the moon in the background, you know?
There is nothing biblical about this, except perhaps this could be an interpretation of how biblical angels and or demons looked. And maybe this is a demon, because you said it's from Demon Slayer, and I would like to slay it immediately. Let's start with the tacky spiderweb kimono. At least this one doesn't have the ugly shoe choices, so they're ahead of the game there. The dots lining the top part are very ugly. I'm not going to get started on the hair, but it looks like something I'd find on top of a spider roll at my local sushi restaurant.
I think she's supposed to be some kind of spider demon.
No, I couldn't tell. Why are they so ugly? Why? This is the worst one yet. I like the background. I don't like the foreground. Why isn't this pattern on one of the kimonos? That would have been much more beautiful. I would like to see him, not in these ugly shoes, but I think this is just going to be a trend that's going to get on my nerves, and I've decided to not bother anymore. The only thing I like is his weird headpiece. That's actually quite interesting. What upsets me is the weird little baubles on either side of the headband. His fingernail polish is hideous. I do not appreciate his Japanese middle school boy's uniform up top, but the schoolboy has decided to rip off the arms. And I don't understand why we would put these giant gold rings on our upper arms. Are we trying to find our way to Mordor? Are we trying to make ourselves invisible? I hope it's the latter, because I would not like to see this individual ever again.
Oh, I know him. He's the main character. Oh, you can go on.
Well, we're back to the ugly shoes, but I guess that's the only historically accurate thing we're sticking to in this ensemble cast. His hair is not so bad. I don't know what happened to his forehead. The sword's fun. I don't mind the kimono jacket, but I wish they would use more interesting textiles in the lining. White? Really? I think a gold would be very interesting, or like a yellow. The earrings are very fun. I don't like the weird schoolboy uniform turned vague ninja vibe. It's like business on top, relaxed on the bottom. It's a strange mullet of sorts going on here.
I thought mullet was a hairstyle.
Well, now it's a clothing style. Other than that, that's pretty much my main complaints with this one.
Oh, him!
He looks like a crack addict. The last person I saw put a taxidermy head on their head, they were doing cocaine. And they were at least paid $500 to do it. Tell me, was he paid $500 to put this pig head on his head? Or is this his actual head?
I'm not sure what his backstory is. All I know is like I read some kind of summary and he goes on some infinity train or something, and actually I really don't know what I read.
And I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just gonna chalk this up as a bad Coachella experience. That should have never happened. He upsets me. Burn him. Thank you. Oh, look. An orange became a person and was scared. I don't like this one. Something about it reminds me of Rugrats. Have you seen Rugrats? Is that before your time?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it.
My
I hated it as a child.
Oh yes, doesn't he look like the one with the glasses?
I don't know, he doesn't look as ugly.
But he looks like an orange though, doesn't he?
He does, but still not as like scary or ugly as those babies.
Well, this one's just bad. I appreciate monochromatic things, I truly do. But if you're going to go full monochrome, how about we go full monochrome and leave the triangles behind? Those don't add anything to this costume. It just makes it look like a bad arts and crafts project. How about you spice up this weird uniform thing we have going on and make it white or orange, or just not happen at all because it's ugly. No, I like this one.
Yes?
This one's good. I hate the uniform, but this makes it work. See, we have this very interesting imbalance going on here. I love this pattern work. This is outstanding pattern work. Not a big fan of these, but there's something about the pattern work here that makes it unique, yeah. My eye travels all around his design, and I quite enjoy that. I think this could be innovative for this upcoming season. Put this on my desk. What the is this? He looks looks like a mascot for Cheetos.
Flaming Hot Cheetos, the
Flaming Hot
mascot.
Cheetos, the mascot. Look, Chester Cheetah became a human and is wearing that ugly base uniform. The only one that's allowed to wear that is that one right there. This hairstyle is not the worst I've seen. It's very Hayley Williams Paramore. I hate the tattered edges of this weird flame shawl. I hate his weird flame calf bracers. Are those boots?
I don't know.
It's ugly. It reminds me of a Hot Wheels car. And he just looks like a strange bird. Does he transform into a bird?
Not that I know of, but maybe.
He should become a bird and fly far away. Speaking of flying, we have a butterfly lady who looks very tacky. If Lisa Frank was in the feudal era of Japan and was still in her butterfly phase, this is what we would have arrived at. The jacket is terrible. I just hate this uniform. Her sword is even ugly. Her hair wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have the butterfly accessory in the background. But I do think it is a creative use of the butterfly motif on her shin area that ties back to the top. I just feel like we had an idea and we did it poorly. And if someone with a few more brain cells designed this concept,
Like you?
like me, it could perhaps be, but it's not. So unfortunate for Butterfly Girl. She's ugly. Not as ugly as this though. This is pretty awful. He definitely looks like he does drugs. I do not like the thing on top of the ugly uniform. Whatever has happened to his face, I can suggest some doctors that can help make it look better. But the hair, however, I would recommend just shaving all of it off and letting it grow back in. At least he's not wearing shoes. He's just got the socks. But the socks alone are still pretty offensive. This one's a very weird thing. Not the worst one though, but definitely would scrap this. This is just Michael Jackson. This is one of his stage outfits. The lapel design could be better. And honestly, I really hate white ties against black button-ups. The button colors need to be different. And I mean, honestly, this just looks very tacky. He looks like a tacky Michael Jackson sitting in Steve from Blue's Clues' thinking chair. This isn't Michael Jackson's best look, it's not his worst look. He's the only one that's allowed to wear gloves, and I'm surprised they didn't do that here. Yeah, so it just kind of looks like Michael Jackson was designed by a middle-aged white woman. It's like ugly, tacky gangster, and that's it. That concludes our, God, awful journey down the wardrobe of Demon Slayer.
Well, from all these characters and their outfits, which one is your favorite?
I told you, the half and half.
The half and half? Oh, the one that you had me keep.
Yes.
And so I'm guessing the worst one is the poor man.
Yes.
Any final lasting remarks?
No. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to vote on the next anime or television show that I give my brutally honest professional opinion on, feel free to join the Gucci Gremlin gang. Comment down below on which outfit you liked best, which outfit you think I was most cool to, or which outfit that you completely agree with me on, which should be all of them. If any of you want to defend any of these characters, I will personally see that something to be done about that. Also, thank you so much for today's sponsor, Dossier Perfumes, for sponsoring today's episode. If you want to get your own scent down below, feel free to click the link in the description. Thank you so much to the Gucci Gremlin gang who has been watching us via a live studio audience. If you would like to join in with us to watch the next live performance of me roasting your 2D fashion disasters.
Or giving happy critiques.
Or giving critiques. Once again, Gucci Gremlin Gang is down in the description below. If you'd like to watch previous episodes, I imagine there will be some playlist for you to click on in the near vicinity of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye! Adios!